resell this.
Hey guys, so today's video is just a little bit different than what I'm normally doing. Typically I'll have a haul video or some sort of Poshmark tip, but it kind of dawned on me that a lot of people are now taking the time to put out YouTube videos, and now you're going to hear him talking on the whole time. Anyways, I think that's really great that we're all coming to a platform that values, what we do. I know that lately there has been some negativity on other platforms, so I think it's really great if you expand and you want to share the knowledge that you have. So, today's video, I'm going to show you some tips, and I'm not a pro. Nowhere am I ever saying that I'm a pro at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Not at all. But I think I've got the gist. So, my first tip is to have a set spot and to leave your camera alone. Do not press stop or pause. Don't constantly go moving the camera around. Yes, you're gonna fumble your words and you are going to have to cut parts out, but that's all in the process of editing after the fact. So whenever I record a video, I will probably record up to 30 minutes, if not more. It depends. So if it's a haul video, it's going to be an hour of footage. But if it's just me talking, it's typically 30 minutes. And then I cut it down. So I take out all the bad parts. My kids decide to come in yelling about something. I take a deep breath. And I regroup. Another thing I like to do is try to stay in the same spot. So here, I've put myself in a spot where I can't really move around, and that makes it easier for editing so it's not so choppy. My second tip for you is to be yourself. There is such thing as a customer service voice, and I'm sure I'm doing it right now. And you want to be interesting, but you don't want to come off as fake. The last thing you want is people to think that your persona or the personality that you're putting off is a fake one in this specific type of YouTube videos. Now, there are YouTube videos where you are a person and you're portraying a personality or you're portraying a character, and that's absolutely fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm more directing this at, new resellers who've decided to go onto YouTube. Now, the reason I say to be yourself is because you want the people who view you on different platforms to recognize you on your YouTube as still being that authentic, true person that you are. So be yourself. I mean, people might not like me. They might not understand my humor. But 8 out of 10 people do, and that's okay. So I just gotta be myself. 3. This kind of plays in with being yourself, but learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh at the mistakes. Learn to enjoy yourself, because it's going to amplify onto the camera. If you are just very critical of yourself, you're not, every little, that hair's out of place, I gotta no. There's a toy. Anyways, if you have to keep readjusting yourself for the camera because you're not confident that you're going to be happy with what comes out, or you're not confident with the way you look, or if you're not confident with, you're just entirely confident with what you're putting out, it's going to show. So you know what? No one's perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. That YouTuber with millions of followers isn't perfect, no matter what you think. So just learn to be able to laugh at yourself. And I promise you, you're going to have a great time. Life is going to be amazing when you can start laughing at yourself. Tip number 4, write stuff down. Have some sort of script, not list it like a script, like word for word verbatim script, but kind of have something to work off of. Now, right now, I'm going off the top of my head, and I'm struggling to figure out what exactly I need to say next. But if you have something that's if I had written down these tips, probably would have made this video a lot easier. Oops. So anyways, take my advice, don't do as I do. Write down, just some ideas that you might want to talk about, some things that you want to put into the video. Number 5, pretend as if the camera is you speaking directly to your audience. Now, I know this is a difficult concept for a lot of people, and you're like, oh my god, I seem crazy. I'm talking to a camera. I'm talking to myself. No, you're not talking to yourself, because eventually someone's going to be on the reciprocating end of that, and that's the person you're speaking to. That's the person that is going, like, that's the other person in the conversation. So just pretend like that person's there right now and go with it. Okay, just go with it. I don't know what else more to say to that, but you are not crazy. You are not talking to yourself. You are talking to a future viewer. Hopefully, if you get views. Tip number, I forget the number. Ding! That number. Make sure to self-promote. In order to generate the traffic that you need for these videos, you need to be able to generate that traffic. So if it's posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever and saying, hey, look what I've done, look what I've made. You know, go check it out, talk about it, be excited about it, don't be boring about it. You know, because the only person right now who is advertising your videos is you. YouTube is not recommending this to anybody. Literally nobody. The only other time that YouTube is actually recommending it to anybody is to your subscribers who have subscribed. In order to get subscribers, you need to then advertise. So you need to build a following. Now my following is super teeny tiny. That's okay. It also doesn't happen overnight. But just remember to self-promote. Number, bing. Post the video. Literally, you can't get views if you don't put the video out. It's not going to do any good by sitting on your phone or your computer or whatever and not getting posted. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be amazing. Every single video that you make is going to have some mistake in it. Like this one, I'm probably going to say to myself, I move my hands too much. Like my first video, I think I touched my nose too much. Then the last video, I touched my hair too much. It's like I get into like this habitual movement that I just gotta keep constantly touching it. Now, don't get me wrong. My nose is always itchy. I am not picking it. It is not running. It is just very itchy. And actually, it's itchy right now, so... Okay? And another thing. My hair's pulled up this time because if it wasn't, my hair would be doing this and I'd be flipping it all around. Okay? So... post that video because it's never going to be perfect, because again, no one's perfect, but just be happy with and content with yourself. Tip number, bing, because remember, I don't remember what number we're at. See, this is going to be another thing I'm going to talk about. Bing. Now, somebody who I follow on Instagram, and I love her, she's amazing. I wish I had the same advantages she has by going to the bins all the time. She always posts about her hauls. She recently, actually this is her story, so she recently reached out onto an app that you purchase services from to create a logo, an intro. And they wanted to charge her up the hoof for it, okay? I'm not tech savvy. I can't make things go whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, boom, onto your screen. I can make a graphic image using simple graphic technology on my phone. I don't have any of this stuff on my computer because for some reason, even though I was raised on a computer, I now can't seem to function on a computer because it's just slow and ugh. So I just don't. I'm only ever on my computer like very seldomly. I just don't like I'll edit this video. I've edited this video on the computer and that's it. And that is literally just me cropping down everything. So anywho, now, she was going to get charged like crazy amounts for what she required. And she had a really bad situation. Anyway, she ended up canceling that service because that person wouldn't provide what she needed for the amount she thought she was paying for. And it was just all around a bad situation. But the take home was she created her own. She created her own logo, and it's an amazing logo. Like, if you want to hit me up and do my own, like, that'd be great. But for now, I got what I have, and I'm happy with it. And there's at the very beginning, there's the scratching of the hangers. If you don't know, sorry, but that's what it is, because that is like a love language to every single reseller, is that hanger noise. It's like, oh, she's thrifting. Now, when I went to make that intro, they wanted to charge me, what was it? I don't know, it was like $5 for like 4 seconds. $5 for 4 seconds of you going, ee, ee, ee. So I went outside to my shed, grabbed my clothing rack and my metal wire hangers, because I have a few, and I made the sound myself with my phone. And I added a little twist because there's like me talking in the end. That was free. To be your own kind of creative. It doesn't have to be this amazingly produced, very expensive video. Because when you start out, you're not making any money. It's not that easy. Next tip. Don't expect to get paid. So you're putting out these videos because, you know, you love what you're doing, you want to share the knowledge and all that wonderful stuff. And yes, it would be amazing that if the second you posted it, you started making that money, but you won't. You need to have like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before you can start monetizing. And then for monetization, there's certain things you can't say or do to ensure that your stuff can get monetized. So don't come on YouTube and expect to be getting paid for what you have to say, because that's not how it works. But I believe in you, and you'll get there. Like one day, maybe I'll get there. But for right now, I'm not there. So enjoy my free content with my free time. Yay. And this is my final tip. And it's something that resonates across all of my platforms, whether it's my sewing platform, my Instagram, or YouTube, is finding a focus. Oh my god, she's talking about finding a focus again. Like, we're tired of this. I know. I knew when I was starting my YouTube videos that it was going to be reseller focused. So I made sure, you know, to include, like, it's going to have hauls, it's going to have tips and tricks, whatever. Like, and it was going to be very focused on the reselling community. There's other YouTube channels that are focused on video games. There are other YouTube videos that are focused on celebrity news. There are other YouTube channels, that are focused on relaxation. And I think that every single YouTube channel has a following because they focus and they have a main focus on their channel. Like, if you had one channel that was like a Walmart doesn't have a following. Walmart's great. Like, your channel, your focus is your brand, right? So you could be a Walmart, you could have a little bit of this, that, and the next thing, but you're not going to get a concrete following because your following doesn't know what your next video is going to be about, and they probably don't want to hear about, you know, the Kim K's of the world, and they're here for gaming. Like, it just has to make sense. So finding your focus, no matter what platform you're on, really helps to solidify your brand. Now, when I started on Poshmark, I was selling stuff out of my closet, and I don't think that my brand is reflected in my closet. Like, I personally never wore vintage, but I loved it. I loved looking, I loved the idea behind it, I loved the fact that it had been around longer than me. I loved that, you know, that stuff back in the days was made to last, and I really always have loved that about vintage. The other focus I have is plus size. But I did notice there was a huge, and always has been a huge, lack in the plus size clothing community. Like, it's just awful how stores just seem to forget that plus size women exist. And actually, the average size woman is a size 12. Clothing brands often stop at 12. Okay, so this is the average size woman. So if you are anything over average, you're naked, apparently. And then I was just introduced to the idea that there are people who buy plus size clothing and tailor them. I go, what? Why? You don't need that. No, that's just... The last thing that I have a focus on in my Poshmark closet is embroidery. And I don't personally have anything that is embroidered or that I never really had this love for it before until I started thrifting, and it was the one thing that would catch my eye over anything else. If it had colorful or some sort of intricate embroidery, I wanted it. And I might not wear it. Like, I mean, okay, I'll wear it now, but I didn't wear it before I started this. And that embroidery to me is something that has helped solidify this whole Poshmark love thing. It's like I get to thrift and get these items that I absolutely love. I love to look at, photograph, list, talk about, and then I get to pass them on to the next person. So it's like an endless cycle of like love, here you go, love. So it's one of those things that I absolutely love. And I'm not going to give up the opportunity to source things for a cheap price and be able to sell them and they're really good quality. That's not what I'm saying. And this goes for your YouTube videos as well. Like if you find that, yeah, you talk about reselling and you talk about, thrifting, but you also do meditation. I'm not saying you can't do all of those all together. Like there's a lot of reseller meditation on Instagram. I'm sure it's on YouTube if I looked for it, and that's great as well. Just make sure that you're maintaining a focus and you're not trying to dip your hands in all the honey pots, because eventually they run out. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed all my rambling. Kind of lost track there. It's why you should have a script. And I hope that you decide to make your own videos so that you can get an audience and you get a following and I get to watch your stuff. And if you already have a YouTube channel, please tag me because I want to see it. And yeah. And I hope that your reselling business is going great. I hope that your life is amazing. And given the current circumstances, I know everything's a little bit unknown, but I hope that you're making the most of each day. And I'll check you next time. This should be one of my tips. It's like a given, isn't it? I feel like it's like a given in these videos to say, like, subscribe if you like my content. I always forget to say it. I don't know. Check you next time. So, I mean... I think that's really great that we're all coming. My second tip for these videos is for you. I can do this. My step 5 or no. Then you have tip 5. Are we doing tip? What did I say at the beginning? Oh, God. Tip number, I've lost count, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'll put it here. Let me try. Oh, put it over there. Tip number, I've lost track, so tip number, what was my tip going to be? Oh, I remember now. Tip. And on the topic of not remembering what number, we were on this number. Tip. Here you go. So be creative. Oh, so I knew when I started my YouTube videos, or my YouTube channel. Oh my God, I'm touching my nose. YouTube channels that are focused. There's other YouTube videos that are. No, I got nothing better to do when I'm folding laundry.